Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
14.
Watch 32. Watch 32.
Hey. Gun.
Tight end to the right, boy.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson.
Check 99.
And that'll be incomplete.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman.
Watch safety creep.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Woo! Right there. All day, baby.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
All you get is a head.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Two tights. Odd.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Watch the shift. Hey, watch the shift. Check three.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. He needed 2. He only got 1 on the sneak, and that's going to lead us to a 4th and 1.
Well, they gave it a shot, quarterback sneak. Not able to get it.
No, but if you're going to call a QB sneak on 3rd down, you draw it up to get it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Maybe they were thinking 4-down territory.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Tight end's right.
Set. 319. 319. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down.
Right there, he's sneaky. Check that guy.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Mike.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Right, 380.
Mike, check, 59. Let's go, D.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Tight. Blue 15.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Hey. Tempo.
Hey, get him.
Friday.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Brooks Reed with a tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Alert.
Tight end left.
Yo, Friday.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
So we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter. Here's another good example.
Let's go get
They
right here.
head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
3 down.
Hey.
Play action. It's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down. In any game you play, and 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He punted 5 Good times in the win last week as this one's away. This is taken around the 12. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time. And they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Gun! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Slam!
Over!
They'll set up a throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got Sanu. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Watch you now, Barney!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Christian Covington in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Set! 319! 319!
Put a body on him.
Over!
Tight end's right.
Detroit!
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Detroit! Over!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 4 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go! 319! 319!
Safe.
Watch you now, Barney!
Check 25. Kill.
Watch you now, Barney! Hey, watch Sam, watch Sam.
They'll set up to throw.
You got nothing.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't fourth and inches. This is fourth and 14.
Hey,
Hey,
here we go now. Green 39, green 39.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
Watch you now, Barney, Barney.
Let's go,
Watch you now, Barney, Barney.
What you got?
Hold on.
They're going to try and throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
4 down, 4 down. Check.
Friday.
Whip.
14, Friday.
A first down carry for Smith. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go.
Tight right. 4 down.
On second down, here's Smith. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Let's go work.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Man, 4 down.
From the shotgun, Wilson fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Carson, and he's going to get this one down to the 30. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
Now it's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the...
Gun!
4 down.
Detroit!
Hey, Mike 50. Mike
Over!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
That's it, baby. That's it.
Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end to the right.
Move.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watch tight end. Tight right. Even.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
We got double up.
Watch you now, Barney.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Switch.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Check. Watch 54. Y'all not ready.
Now the pitch to Freeman.
No.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Set.
Here's Coleman. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mike's 54. Check Mike.
They'll go to the keeper, and he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Rush in.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And the nice move will yield nothing as he stopped behind the line.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Shotgun.
4 down. 4 down.
Tight. Blue 15.
Hey, check 20.
Don't take forever, okay?
They'll run it now out of the gun.
50. Check 50.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Let's go.
Quads. Check 3. Hey, we got to get to the ball.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
Tight end's Ringo. Tight end's on the ring.
12.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Watch twist. Watch the
12.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watch 32.
95.
Bunch formation.
From midfield now, here's Wilson.
Check 26.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
4 down. Check.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
One play at a time, guys. Let's go. Gun.
Hey, tight end's right.
Tempo, baby. Let's go to work. Come on. Hey.
3 down.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will midfield. So good starting field position
All right,
for
now,
him
look at
here as they
56.
come up
Look at
first and
56.
10.
Here we go now.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Julio. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Number 14 throws incomplete. Second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a timeout taken.
Timeout call.
Perhaps a chance for one more
hey,
quick
we got
play and then
3 down.
another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So they'll come up after the incompletion for
Detroit!
2nd down.
Detroit!
3 down, 3 down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Wide.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Looking to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Tight end right. 4 down.
They go play action here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Hey, 4 down.
Trying to get the run game going. Here's Smith. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Get out of here, man. Watch tight.
Gun!
4 down.
They'll run it again with Smith. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On third down, it's Carson, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. And this a 39-yard attempt. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, 1 play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Watch tight end. Hey, boys, we got 4. 4 down.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
They'll start by running the option to the right. And Hill running right through him. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
Get him, boys.
Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Hey, we are.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now they go screen. It's complete.
Get him.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one, because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
We got 4. Hold
Gun! Watch him now, Barney!
Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and throw for it here. Connects with Sanu right side. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Tight end to the right. Move.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
He has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Watch it now, Barney.
Hey.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
Hey, we got to get this.
Leopard.
Tight dog.
They'll drop to throw.
Slam.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Oh, this offense is staying put. They're just 1 for 4 in these situations so far, but they're going again on 4th down.
3 down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Mike 51.
And now with the time of the play clock almost up, Ron Rivera's going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
Gun.
Strong right. 4 down.
Set. 319. 319.
Mike's 5'4.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's airing it out for Sanu. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
This is Carson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Looking deep for Bennett. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Gun!
Off the play fake, Dixon. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48.
Four down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
51's a mic. 51.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman.
Come on, QB.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Come on. Run.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
Yo trip ends here, baby. Yo trip ends here. Hey, we got tight left.
Even. 4 down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Fight 51. Mike 51.
You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now,
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50. Stop your.
And the blitz does come.
Play it.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go.
And now with the time of the
3:19.
play clock almost up,
3:19.
Ron Rivera's going to call a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back.
12's mine.
Check.
All right, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
Back to throw here.
Take motion.
And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Watch time.
Gun! All right, here.
They're going to look to throw.
Four down.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted.
Interception.
Picked off
Come
by
on,
the
guys.
Pro Bowl
We got
safety
this.
Cam Chancellor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Double tight. We got.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dixon finding room at the 30. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And all the way up to the
All right, now,
35-yard
lucky
line.
56. Lucky 56.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. They run it with Carson. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
I know you feel that.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain. Blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Man left. 4 down.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Twelve. Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Hey. 40.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
280.
Hey.
19.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. Oh, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Let's go.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Watch tight end. Tight right, tight right. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Strong right.
There.
Strong right.
Tight, blue lady.
4 down.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Vic Beasley in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Let's go, 14.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Even.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Detroit!
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. That will be their 3rd and final stoppage as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining.
Watch left. Tight end to the left. Tight end left.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Bang, 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 bang. Under 10, 10. 36. Hey, alert 3.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
We got 4.
Here we go now.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
4 down, 4 down.
Set. 319. 319.
They toss to Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. He ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now a toss right, Freeman. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
We got 3.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Over.
They'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that
That's
answer.
cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Zebra.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Man open. That's Kiki QT complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Tight end right, tight end right. Hey.
Shotgun.
We got 3 down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. 3 down.
Hey.
Motion.
14.
Play action. It's Wilson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
Shot. Blue 15.
We got to stand up over there.
To throw again is Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Pick, baby.
Ricardo Allen
All
with a
day.
pick.
All
And
day.
his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Pick.
Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Man left. Hey. 4 down.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. 40.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Alert.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
14. Tighten up.
He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. Nifty footwork at the 45. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
For the interception.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Check the backer. Go ahead, 4 down, 4 down.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, Wilson buying time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Let's go.
Vic Beasley in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him 14. Now on the year.
14. Hey, 25's the mic.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Bennett bruising ahead on the crossing route, complete. It's Bennett. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone.
Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
19.
Bring it. Check 37.
Here's a give to Smith. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Twelve.
Strong right.
Back to throw. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. One thing that makes him so tough in these 2-minute drills, you got to take into consideration he's mobile.
And that's a big plus for him, but he also has to be careful with that mobility. Sometimes getting rid of the ball and stopping the clock is more important than running around and maybe taking a sack.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
They'll come out in
19.
the pistol.
You got 3 down. Gotta go.
Check 9.
He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They come out, and yes, Yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the fourth. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for two and decide it right now.
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Three down.
Three down.
Now whistles and a timeout signaled here by the offense, and that's their first of this second half. And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now he'll spike it here with 20 seconds to go on the clock.
Me.
Detroit!
Watch tight end. 4 down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage. This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card.
Detroit!
So now
Detroit!
3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Single. I got a single on the slot. Check. Lucky. Hey, watch the edge.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
50.
Looking to throw. He sets to fire deep. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? But maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
He's crashing. He's
Hot! Hot!
He'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I get. The extra point is good, and on the final play of the game, they walk away with a victory. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way,
things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Seahawks, they just keep on